Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to Overlord, episode 7. As always, you know how it is. If you want to see my reaction, go down into my description, and there you will find the link to my Google Drive, where you just replace some parts with the dots, and you can see my reaction. Once you've done, feel free to come back to hear out what I thought about this and see a little analysis, which I will do about the intro this time. I hope you enjoy. See you soon. For those of you that came back, welcome back. Well, we have a mouse right here. Well, thinking about what to do. Should I go for the analysis of the intro first? I think so, because it is at the beginning, you know. I think, just checking, I'm not sure if the recording is working so well right now, because I'm at the moment cutting the two parts of the video at the same time, and I think my computer is having issues handling both at once. We will see. So let's see. We had the intro, and as I said, there was definitely a difference to all the other times. Searching for it. Sorry. Jumping. There it is. So, you know, I will disable the audio. I think this is the best. So I can just let it run through. Clever me. Okay. It's like if you're just like a nightmare. You know, I talked about that a little bit. When it came to the point, even when I wake, all I got is bones. So here we are at the point, finally, where we are coming to what we had a little bit thought about in the past. So the player is trapped in the body of the character, which is more and more becoming himself. I'm in panic. Get out, hurry. So he really, that's a moment when the question is, will he kind of merge with the character? Will he kind of lose his humanity, the fact who he is? He maybe even has memories as a human being that played. For sure, here it is mentioned that he's having more and more problems, panicking about the fact that he can't get out, you know. It is a nice thing if you have like a roleplay character in a game or anything to play it, but if you could never leave, you know, he cannot sleep either, possibly. The question is, can he sleep now? No idea. So, they point toward that there might be more and more of a problem coming along. Maybe we will see something of this in the next episodes, that he's having problems adapting to the situation. My mysteries and miseries, well, okay. Dead or alive? Yeah, he's in the middle. So by definition of the body he has, he should be dead. But he himself still is the alive person, at least by feelings, you know. He still has feelings. Yeah, well, we'll see. It was mentioned multiple times that he should be able to control those, that he shouldn't have emotions because he's undead. But he has emotions, so he feels something. And there's the question, is this possibly the part that comes from the player? There. Wander right, left to help. Fitting. Invitation to loneliness, withdrawal of emotion. There we are again. So he is alone. That's partially no one else, no other players in this world. A withdrawal of emotion. It could be that he is losing the emotions he still has at the moment. So his the emphasis you have as a human being, the fact that you feel kind of swayed to help people, stuff like that, might become less and less, if it is even there, you know. So there the player turns into the undead more and more. It is really this mix of both. It's like two characters have merged. Steps on the start step page, okay. Raise your flag, march on a fight. The mask's edge, possibly the mask he had on as Lord 1. But it could be a phrase for the hidden face he has, that he's not showing who he really is. There's only bones. Laughing at the overflowing. Well, if you find yourself laughing at your powers, positively here in this case, I guess. So he's not laughing negatively about it. He's laughing about the fact that he's incredibly powerful. He possibly is more powerful in this world than he has been in Yggdrasil before. Just in comparison. But the moment when you are starting to laugh about how powerful you are, it's the beginning of manic, you know? He really has to watch out that he's not turning crazy by or in other ways negatively, dangerously. If you are believing more and more you are the powerful being, it messes with your head, so that might happen as well. And there we just had the white rat, which I always mentioned. We've seen it in this episode, finally no. But it looked so tiny in the intro, they really played me there. I was thinking like, what is this kind of pet? I mean, it was a pet in the end. Where does it come in? We know now, and it is not the small one, it is a huge one. Where's my soul? Yeah, well. Getting swallowed up by reality. So, if we tend to think that this is, however it happened, reality, he is merged with the bone body of his character. It is only a matter of time until you are lost in there, until you start more and more to forget about your past, and this becomes your reality. If you're living in it, it is your reality. Typical problem every one of us has. We are living in a society, we are living in a country, each for ourselves, in a city, and the people we are surrounded by, the society we are surrounded by, define very much who we are and what we perceive. So the problems of other countries we cannot really understand, not completely. We can try, but we can never really understand it because we are not in their shoes. We are not living there. If you are outside, if you are visiting this country, so I was multiple months in another country, and it took some weeks until I was adapted to the country, and then I cared more about this area. You know, I was far away from my home, so I really didn't get a lot of what happened there. So I was in this. Not completely, because I still was an outsider, you know, I still was from another country. But I understood more of how their life was, and it was for a short amount of time mine. Once I was back here, it was only a matter of some months, and this was all far, far away, far gone, and I more and more forget about experiences I made there. I can remember, I tried to keep it alive, because it gave me a different view on the world and on living. But the longer it is away, the more you forget about it. And this is something that is happening here with him as well. So he's getting swallowed up by reality. Don't hesitate. So he wants to? I don't know. And he doesn't care. There we are. Even if I'm moving an imitation, there we are again. Even if I'm moving a character in a game, this is not really me, you know? He, at least in this intro, accepts the fact that he has to live in this world and to just get along there. So we will see how this goes. The sadness of loss aches once again. Whoa, nice sentence. Misery world is a pretty mean word for describing a world. Misery world. Not the best one. So, let's search for a nice... Yeah, we take that. It's a nice picture. So, interesting. It's interesting that they completely changed the intro. I'm not sure, maybe they changed it last time. I'm not sure if it was translated there. But if it was here, so there is a completely change of what it is about. But it makes some sense, because if they would have brought the this intro... sooner you would have catched too much of what is going on in the background in the mind of Momonga, what is going on about this world, you know. So it makes sense. Now I'm really intrigued to know if later on in this series they will change it again. It might be. I like the idea of changing the text of the intro. They didn't change the music very much, so I will look forward. If there's another change, I will try to watch out for it. If they are just doing minor changes, it's not so easy. But it's a cool thing. I really like when they put in small stuff. Here it was a very big change. So what did we have this episode? Well, apart from the obvious, we learned that there are dragons in this world. We learned that one of them is somewhere in the area of Irantel, of the major city of the kingdom. With, I'm not sure, it was kind of area control, so not absolutely sure what this dragon can do. It might be that we will meet him when it comes to this ritual that the necromancer is doing. Maybe that will kind of influence this dragon, and maybe he will appear to either stop it or whatever, you know? Possibly, but not sure. It's pretty sure that Lord Eins will go for this. Once again, I see that my video is sometimes jumping. I'm very sorry for this. As I said, video editing is running. I guess Lord Eins is going for the dragons for sure, because they are the most powerful creatures he knew from the world of Yggdrasil. So it is interest on the one hand, and kind of trying once again to define how power level based he is in this world. They mentioned some dragons, frost dragons in the mountains as well. So that sounded as though there are multiple ones. Then we arrived at the village, and it was funny as hell because the goblins are there. My first thought was like, oh cool, goblins. They popped up and they were way more closed, you know. They looked more educated and civilized in many ways. So I thought maybe that's a goblin tribe, and my first idea was that the village paid them, so that they were like mercenaries to defend the village. I completely forgot about the horn at this moment. I thought I liked the idea, because why should negatively perceived creatures who clearly had some kind of culture, smithing lessons, weaponry crafting, as we've seen in the last episodes, because they had armor, and it was armor that was fitting to their size, so that was not possibly not man-made. It must have been made by them somehow, and it was not rugged looking. It was pretty okay. So I guess that there are like goblin villages and ogre villages somehow. Possibly more the goblins, I guess, being the more smarter ones. It is in most worlds this way. And they close the bigger and burly and more brutal things like orcs and here it are ogres. Would have been an idea. So I thought maybe it's one of those tribes, maybe a more advanced one, but nope. It were the goblins from the horns / horn. Because I remember Lord Momonga at this time gave both of the sisters, each of them, a horn. So 2 of them. The oldest sister, Enri, used the horn, and thus the goblins appeared. So it might be that the other horn is still working. Hasn't been used yet. We will see. The goblins stay, as it seems. It was mentioned that you summon the goblins, you summon an army of goblins, and they will do your wishing. You are the boss, and they called her boss. So they use the goblins to defend the village. They even made a fence around the village, which on first view was like, what the heck, a fence? But then it looks a lot more sturdy when you're closer. And they're training the townsfolk, shooting arrows and stuff like that. So some kind of basic self-defense. It's a nice thing. I like it. The simple fact that the world is evolving. It is not standing, you know. If you're you come to the village, everything is the same. Something happens, like this attack. Come there a month later, everything is still the same. People normally react to stuff, and it's cool to see that they do here. So they react to the fact that they've been attacked, and a lot of them were killed. So they are learning how to defend themselves, because not always is an overlord nearby or the head warrior. They have to be able to defend themselves. So nice to see that. Then Henry talked with Nafiri about Momonga, about Lord Ainz to be exact. There were multiple things that kind of surprised me. So last time I discussed, I really thought that Nafiri might be really becoming like an evil character, someone who not on a major level is dangerous, but who could find out backgrounds, and that could be a problem and stuff, you know. So like long-term plans. But instead he completely turned to the good side, because what he mentioned before, that there's a girl he likes, was the absolute truth. So he likes Henry. He even wanted to ask her to marry him there, but he just couldn't do it. So this is honest, because there were only the two of them, so he had no reason to act as though, especially thus she wasn't getting it. So it is honest feelings, which shines a new positive light on him. You know, the boy who stands in front of a girl just asking her to love him, stuff like that. She doesn't catch it yet. Maybe she will in the future. And he was honestly thankful for the fact that Lord Ainz saved the village, and especially her. So this had a huge impact on him and completely turned him. So he was completely honest afterwards, told everything to Momonga about the potion and everything. So he became clean. And that's good. We then learned that it was, as we already expected, the mistake of Nabarel, that she mentioned Albedo, because due to that he could connect the dots. So he was clever. I mean, it was a pretty easy one there. Especially thus, additionally, a red potion was named. So, well. But additionally, we had the mentioning of spell levels. So, a normal human can reach a maximum spell level of 3. A hero can reach a spell level of 5. We have seen multiple things. One thing, Nabarel used lightning on like the last episode, I think it was, and there was level 5. So she already uses hero spell levels. We have seen that Momonga uses level 9, no question, so he is way OP. But the spell that was hidden in the crystal given by the Theocracy, this one, the hugest angel in the end, I think to remember it was level 7. So they have abilities to cast more than hero spells. Good to know. But you could say like there's like this, each 2 level there's a leap. So level 1 spells are possibly very common. The mage in view just has level 1 spells as example. Level 3 spells are the end for humans. Level 5 the end for heroes. Level 7 are OP, really powerful, as possibly like a king, archmage, something like that can cast in this world. So we have kind of a leveling there. And level 9 shouldn't be accessible for anyone. Momonga has them. So it's more neither godlike. It's close to godlike here in this world, at the moment what we know. So, Nabarel wanted to kill herself for the mistake she made, and Momonga stopped it, which was correct. You know, it wouldn't help him at all. There we are at this moment in, I will kill myself for what I've did. That's something you should make pretty clear as a leader very soon. If you are dead, you do not help me either. Stop that nonsense. So he didn't say, possibly he will say later on. Then we met Aura, which I was pretty sure we would meet, because in one of the last episodes it was mentioned that Aura is has finished checking those planes around the Tomb of Nazarick and setting up perimeters, and is now busy doing it in a nearby forest. And the nearby forest was mentioned close to the village as well, so it kind of makes sense that Aura was there with 2 summoned riding animals, not so sure. Fen and I didn't catch the other name. So some kind of wolf, maybe Fen like Fenris, and the other one was more like a huge scarab, or I'm searching for the word, I'm not completely sure, but some kind of a bug, you know. And then we finally met the wise beast of the forest, which was a giant hamster. Well, why not? He was partially intimidating. He had some runes on his chest, which was interesting. Only when it was dark, you could see them glow. So I guess he has some kind of magical abilities or magical enhancements. Momonga was a little bit down due to it, because he expected something really cool and, I don't know, like a giant boar or some kind of maybe a dragon, a wyvern, whatever. But instead it was a huge hamster. And he remembered that one of his friends in the past, so possibly one of the guild members, had a hamster that looked like that. So there we are again, something from Yggdrasil and / or from Lord Ein's memories, his past, came to this world. Different, but it did. So still that could be a proof that there's, like, I don't know, dreaming going on. Not sure, however. The hamster wanted to fight, however, and Lord Ein's finished it off with 1 skill usage of Aura of Despair level 1. So the lowest one he had. Which completely worked. And then he mentioned that still just a, what did he say, not creature, you know, like normal enemy stuff like that. So possibly this Aura of Despair works more neither on every living being. That's why it worked on the hamster too. He got it to be his pet. It seems as though it will be his riding pet in the future, which looks a bit strange. I can see why he's a little bit down about it, but well, he has it. I like it. It's completely ridiculous, you know? Someone like him should be riding on, I don't know, an undead dragon or anything like that, or stuff alike. But it's cool. The others, however, not Nabara, but I mean the humans, reacted completely different to the hamster. So for them, as they perceive it, it is a huge magical creature because it is abnormally huge, you know. It has kind of an aura. It looks very powerful. It looks possibly kind of intimidating, not in broad daylight, but you know. And they see it as really what it claims to be, the magical beast of the forest. So, and that is something it seems Momonga cannot see, cannot realize as they do. So there's a difference, and the question is why? Is it because he's so powerful? Is it because he has memories of a hamster like that, you know? Or is it because he's undead and that this looking like effect of the hamster is maybe something like a passive effect it pushes out to living beings, like an aura of power, an aura of awesomeness, you know? Might be. However, I have it now. And he's riding into town. While Neferi was already in the town and they started unloading the stuff they found, especially with the help of the pet. And Clementine was waiting. in the house. And Grandma wasn't there, at least not waiting for them. So it is very much possible that the grandmother's dead. Seeing that Clementine is an assassin, it might and she, as it seems, doesn't care very much about living, so it's very likely that she killed the grandmother. But it does not have to be. It could be that she kept her alive out of whatever reasons, as example, to force the boy to do as she wishes. If you have your grandmother and it's like, hey, you put on this crown or I will kill your grandmother, might be a valid option. So not sure if she's dead, but I wouldn't be surprised if she would be dead already. Interesting will be if next time there will be a fight, a possibly very short one, between this group of adventurers here and Clementine, because it is very possible that Neferi is kind of shouting, asking for whatever. They jump in, and seeing what we've seen so far, I think it is very, very likely that Clementine will easily get rid of this group. It would be sad because I tend to like them. They brought up in the last episode this group of heroes here, this adventurer group, and they are kind to each other, and they are a well-working group, which I would like to see more often, and especially with Momonga and everyone. So it would be sad if they would finish them off, but seeing that it is very likely a harsh world, that might happen as well. So, things to expect. Well, what to expect next time? I think that Momonga will possibly go to the guild and register a hamster, although it was night. It might be that the fighting which might occur now next time will draw in Momonga, so we have a direct confrontation. I do not think that Clementine will put the crown, let's call it crown, on the head of Neferi. I don't think so. And it will more or less fall into the hands of Momonga. Would be interesting to know which level spells the crown can give. Shaman Circlet, Crown, whatever it was called. So, yeah. There will be some kind of confrontation with Clementine for sure in the next episode, I guess. And that's all I know for now. Everything else we will see. So, I hope you liked that. I did for sure. And this is it for this time. As I mentioned in my video already, feel free to go over to my Facebook account and follow me there, just in case. And please like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to give me your interpretations of the songs. In my opinion, the outro song was very much a song from Albedo to the Lord himself. And there was not so much to interpret there, you know, it was pretty clear for me. I will do everything for you, I will love you for always, I will kill and destroy everything if you wish. Thanks, you're loving Albedo. So, but maybe the intro has some other parts in you want to lighten up. So, as always, please don't spoil. There were some minor ones again, but I was able to jump over them, so no big ones yet. And this is it for this time. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.